Hello, D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. I hope you all are well. Wow, man, I'm out today. Early December. Nice cold day in the desert. Just getting my ride in, man. Getting my DR650 on is what I'm doing. And I thought I'd make a quick video about simplicity. That's right. I love the simplicity of the DR650. There's just not a whole lot can go wrong with the bike. And I'm saying this because the other day I was at the moto shop and I was just, having a look. And I was looking at some of the newer adventure bikes and I was checking out like the display panels and all the buttons you gotta push. And I was just like, I don't know, man. One particular bike really caught my attention, and that was a new Africa Twin. And whew, sweetness. Let me tell you, there were so many buttons on that dang thing between the handlebars and the LCD. Is just like, man, you really need to sit here and press a bunch of these things to really get going. I don't know. I get it. I mean, it's cool, but there's I don't know, it just seems a little much sometimes. Now, before I go any farther, let me just say this isn't a hate video or my bike's better than that bike video or anything like that. I'm just simply observing a few things, and please don't get me wrong, I would certainly ride a new Africa Twin if I could, but there's something to be said for simplicity, and I'm just simply wondering out loud on a video if sometimes simplicity is just as good as extravagance. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with bells and whistles, that's for sure. I like bells and whistles. I don't typically buy things with bells and whistles though, just because of my experience. The more things you have, especially on something mechanical like that, all it means in the long run are just more things are going to go wrong. So I just wonder sometimes about, I guess, motorcycles in particular, the way I see a lot of, well, I guess a lot of the adventure bikes, I guess I should say. I don't really know much about cruisers and stuff like that, but I see all the stuff you gotta input before you even start riding. And I don't know, sometimes it sounds like it's a drag, to be honest with you. I'm sure it's still just as awesome to ride as anything else, but that's one thing you definitely don't get on a DR650, and that is bells and whistles, man. Let me tell you, I don't even have a digital display on this bike, and this is a 2023 model. This thing is like straight out of 1990 or something, I don't know, but I don't know, I like the simplicity of this bike. I just turn it on and go. There's no pressing of buttons, no settings I have to always switch into. There's no ABS to turn on or turn off. It's just there, you turn the bike on, you start it, and you go. And I think that's one thing that keeps people coming back to the DR650 is the simplicity of the bike. They're easy to work on. There's easy modifications. It's just an easy bike, I guess. To narrow it down into something, yeah, the bike's just easy. Let's just put it that way. It's easy and it works. So a lot of people find that attractive, and I'm sure just as many people find the bells and whistles attractive. It's all about what you really like in the long run. If you're going to spend your hard-earned money, you might as well spend it on what you like. Oh man, sometimes I just like chilling. I don't really have to go fast or anything, just cruise, man. Just out here on your bike, So it really wouldn't matter if I had the DR650 or the brand new Africa Twin. I'd still be enjoying myself out here on it. That's all it really boils down to. But any of you cats that have the newer model motorcycles out there, by all means, tell me about your experiences in the comments. I'm curious to hear if you like the fact that you have to hit a bunch of buttons to get everything set before you ride, and that's something you just have to do every time you start the bike, or if it's annoying or what. Personally, I think I'd kind of find it annoying, but maybe you just get used to it and that's the way it is. And maybe not all bikes are like that. Once you have a setting dialed in, then that's the way it is until you change it. But I don't think they're like that. I think it defaults to you gotta get it all set up for a ride. I could be completely wrong, but I'm just curious because I like the fact, as another example with the DR650 here, that I don't have to do any of that. I just turn it on, start it, and go. There's nothing to think about here. Yeah, the DR650 is pretty simple to deal with. Simple to do an oil change, simple to change an air filter, simple to maintain. I was just I say this because I was watching what is it, the new Honda Transalp. I was watching Big Rock Moto. He was dealing with the air filter in one of those, and man, had the whole bike torn apart to get to the air filter. It was just like, why? It just seems so ridiculous. I don't understand that, but you know, that's all right. I'm not dissing on the bike at all, but it just seems bizarre. So what do you all think? Do you think simplicity is just as good as extravagance? Is it worse? Is it better? Curious as to all of your thoughts on that and what you ride, because I don't find myself there yet. I don't find myself needing the bells and whistles yet, and I may get there one day, but for now, like I've mentioned, I'm pretty happy with what I'm riding and what I have. And I think maybe the next bike I would probably be interested in, as far as like an adventure bike or something along those lines, would probably be a Tenere 700. And I don't think they're over, well, not yet at least. I don't think they're over the top as far as their electronics. I think they just got an ABS button, and that's really about it. The last time I looked at is the new models could be going into a little more heavier on the technology side. I don't know, but that's probably the next bike I'd be interested in, but we're not really there yet. So if you've never really looked at a DR650, well, I'll show you mine real quick. It's got a headlight. There's the command center right there. It's got a speedometer and a turn signal display, and that's how you turn it on. It does have an electric start. Woohoo! Yeah, it's got a carburetor in there, no fuel injection. And a throttle and some tires. That's really it, man. So it's a fun little bike. Pretty sweet little setup. Oh, dang rocks. So the DR650 will be out in 2024, and that model will be the same as 2023, which has been the same for a long time. And that's okay. People are still buying these things up like crazy. So I don't know, I keep seeing videos here and there, people saying that they're going to stop making the DR650, and I haven't heard like conclusively like that's going to happen. I don't think that will happen. I know these bikes are hard to get in some countries because of whatever emissions laws. I think that's the main deal with them. But I don't know, you know, I'm trying to talk my wife into getting a DR650. She's kind of eyeballing the new Royal Enfield Himalayan that's coming out soon. But and that, you know, that's another bike I'm really curious about, because you're starting to see a lot of videos of that, of the new Royal Enfield 450, 452 coming out, and they're kind of putting it through the torture test and everything. But that bike also, it's like LCD or display dashboard, whatever you want to call it, is just it's pretty sharp looking actually. It's just this big circle right here. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably seen this anyway, but if you haven't, it's got the display on this. That's it. It's just one big circle right there, and that'll take care of all your trip navigation and whatever else things that are going on. But when I see stuff like that, I'm just wondering, man, you know, anything can happen at any time, and if that thing just gets smacked or it goes out or it just glitches out, does the bike still work? I mean, I don't know. I'm just wondering out loud. And hopefully not, of course, but you know, it's a pretty sharp looking bike, man. I wouldn't mind if Jen got one. I think it'd be a hoot, but I'm still trying to get her to get a DR650. So, you know, they're still, these bikes are still in hot demand. And you got, even the used ones are going for as much as new ones. That's why I just bought a new one. I wouldn't say no if someone were to give me a nice new Africa Twin, but for the time being, I'm still pretty happy riding my DR650. And those are my thoughts today as I muck about in the southwestern Utah desert. These nice dirt roads on this cold day. So, you know, what are your thoughts, folks? Love to hear them in the comments. We'll be back with lots more content, so stay tuned. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's free. It helps us out tremendously. Folks, stay safe out there. We'll see you next time. D-Rock out. Adios.